All right, let's see here. Trying to remember how that goes in there, just like that. So that looks right. Drop that down. And so once we get it compressed, then this retainer slides in and it's stuck there. So what I did, kind of unfortunately, was I had to grind some material off of these hooks because they protrude much too far in to the absorber. You can't hardly do it because the other one I did, I scratched the paint up some. So, well, that's not gonna work, you know. You know, I think I'm gonna have to be on which one? This one here. So the Tusk sent like little pieces of rubber hose with a cut in it. It's really a great idea. You slide that over your nice coil and you don't damage it. Okay, so what I did was put an adapter in my drill. This is a 3-speed transmission. I've got it in first gear. All right. So there's that fella. Now, let's see, where do you want to be? I'm gonna have to be on this one. All right. Now I want to make sure that the shock is all the way extended. See, yep, that makes a big difference. All right, well, we have a ways to go here, so bear with me. Trying to remember exactly where this needs to go. I believe it's, yeah, all the way underneath that rubber bushing there. So we got a little ways to go yet. I don't know if we're quite there yet. And there we are. Okay, dokie. Now we'll loosen her up. Well, there we go. Just gotta be kind of patient and take your time, and it'll turn out absolutely beautiful. Okay, so like I say, had to grind some material off of that hook, but it made all the difference. There's no damage, and we now have an absolutely beautiful restored shock absorber. Beautiful, huh? What do you guys think? So again, this is for our Rancher 350, and yeah, that's great stuff. Yeah, so you can see the two, you know, the nuts are off there, and then down here on the head pipe, those are also off. So, all right, I will let you guys chillax and see if I can get this off of here. So one thing I've learned here so far is that you definitely want to get the muffler off the head pipe before you disconnect the head pipe from the cylinder head. Because now I can't do anything. There's, you know, nothing I can do to try to get this off other than hopefully keep rotating it. Oh, okay. I'm serious, man. That WD is magic. I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's crazy. It just about fell off. Okay, well, so now you guys can see what we're kind of wanting to clean up here. That's really rough looking. We got to get that looking better. So it seems to be like the whole thing is stainless steel, which is astonishing that a manufacturer would do that. Again, you guys might say, well, yeah, but you know, I haven't ever worked on Hondas, so this is beautiful, beautiful muffler. It's not light, but you know, you can't have everything, right? So anyway, yeah, we're gonna make this look way better. That's the goal anyway. Okay, so since that came off so incredibly easy, let's see about how does this come out of it. Okay. Well, let's see if you can make sure you guys can see what we're doing here. Oh, yes. All right. Okay, well, that wasn't so bad now, was it? Huh. Not at all, really. So I'm gonna find, I think I need a 10 millimeter socket again. And I'm gonna get that heat shield off of this head pipe. So we've got fasteners here, and here, and then we have two going straight in. So yeah, you can see how crusty that is. We really need to make that look better than that. All right, so 10 millimeter socket. Here we go. Yeah, the chassis sure looks different without the exhaust sitting in there. All right, let's get ourselves, whoop, yeah. Okay. Oh, I had already cracked that one loose. All right. That's amazing that that stuff would come apart. It really is. All right, so let's see now. All right, I gotta get, oh, here's a wrench sitting right here. All right, so we'll hold the bolt head, and that nut comes right off. Kind of fussy to get out of there, but all right, so we'll get that spacer put back on, and then this stuff will all go to the blast cabinet, and we'll make sure that's all in high temp paint and looking great. All right, there's another one. And that leaves us two more. All right. And out it came. That's great. I thought that one was going to be a problem, but not at all. Okay, one more. Oh. Oh gosh. Now I'm knocking stuff down. Oh, my socket got stuck on there. I knew you'd see it my way. So, yeah, I think I'm starting to realize here that I probably didn't have to take those off, maybe? I don't know. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay, there we are. So, we are about to make all of this look really nice. What do you guys think? Is it worth it? Yeah. We can't let this go out the door with an exhaust system looking like that. That's shabby. Oh, I can't wait to blast this and see what it looks like. It'll be like new. Woohoo! All right, so you guys that are familiar with Hondas and changing ball joints, you probably know the fun adventure that I'm experiencing right now. So, from the factory, they use two different size ball joints, you know, which is not uncommon. The big one, 100% of the time, goes on the bottom because that's where the stress is. Nope, they put the smaller one on the bottom. That's interesting stuff. All right, so when we got our new ball joints, guess what? I cannot install them into the steering knuckle. Won't go, never gonna go. Okay, so that's when I found out they use two different size ball joints. When you buy new ones, unless they're from Japan, they all come in the same size. All right, so let me take a side track here on you guys. So here's my ball joint press. Works great. Harbor Freight, love it. It's just wonderful. Now, for doing these ball joints, This kit, of course, is made for the automotive world, road vehicles, trucks, whatnot. So I didn't have an adapter, such as one of these for doing such a small ball joint. So we put this in the lathe. We trued up both ends. As you can see, that's very, very nice. We cleaned it up on the inside as well so that it does not harm the grease boot on the ball joint. All right, so yeah, really nice part. Then I welded on a 1/2-inch chunk of whatever, and works great. All right, so I've removed the snap ring from this, and then yeah, if I can hold all of this together, easier said than done. I don't think, no, this can't be the right setup. I can't remember, how did I do this? Well, that shouldn't be a problem. It should go right. Why is it not? That confuses me. Right there. I'm not sure that that's quite right, but let's see. Woo! All right, that's pretty easy to take care of. Yep. Okay, so in there we have the culprit of this whole operation, because I think the other 3 ball joints were probably going to survive for a little bit longer, but this one is just locked up just about. Yeah, there it turns that way or moves that way, but it won't turn. So, all right, well, we'll
Tell you
be
what,
right
Phil,
back.
I'm going to get in here with my handy dandy telescoping gauges, stare it.
Oh, nice. I didn't know you had any.
And I'm going to measure that and see what that is.
Oh, that's awesome. What do you call that? A snap gauge, right?
Telescoping gauge.
Okay.
Yep. 335 right on. What do we say the other ones were? About a thou press fit. I'll measure them. I got some here.
335.
335.
I thought they were like 34. 334. Yeah.
This one is about 335 and a half.
Okay. All right. So what we're doing here, everybody, is when you buy aftermarket ball joints for these, the top one is bigger. From my experience in the automotive world, it's the reverse of that. But anyway, yeah, this one is bigger. So what we're doing then is we'll remove this ball joint. This is the lower ball joint. We'll remove that and then bore this hole bigger. Now, but the problem with that is you also have to ream this out at a 7-degree angle. That's the angle. So this is called a Morris taper. And that's why the shock of the impact of hitting this with a hammer here and here, that's why that shocks that loose. It's a Morris taper, and so I guess do some research on the aspects of that if you'd like. But so yeah, we have to, because this is bigger on the top ball joint than the bottom. So we'll bore that out. Everything will fit great. So we'll have that new reamer on Tuesday, and I can't wait to see this job completed.
All right, everybody, here we go. Phil, do you want to give them a quick overview of what we're about to do?
Okay, so we've got our steering knuckle in here. We need to increase the diameter of this hole just a little bit, not a whole lot. Ray, how much are we looking for?
We're gonna give it like 1.5 thou press fit, which means we're gonna take about 55 thou out of there.
55 thousandths.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. All right. So. Yeah, awesome. So, yep, that looks great. Well, good evening, everybody. It's on towards the end of a long day, I would say. But I thought I'd go ahead and put a little time into this project. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna pull this out. Looks like this has been pulling a lot of oil out of that differential, so we would anyway, but we got to make sure that we check that gear lube, you know, now that we basically had a wick, you know, slowly pulling it out the floor. It's got a big spot of gear lube on it now. All right, so anyway, let's see, the first thing we need to do is change the clip on these axles. All right, so I don't know if you can tell, but there's like golden retriever hair all over it. I don't know how that could have happened. Gosh. Doug. Okay, these can be a little bit of a chore to get out. Try to always face the pick away from you. Okay. It doesn't want to come off. Oh, come on now. Oh. Yeah. You don't want to, there we go, I got it. Okay. I was just going to say, you don't want to bend it because then you kind of lost the point of this whole operation, you know, in changing the clip. Okay, so yeah, so now here you can see how far that spring sticks out from the axle. Far more than the factory, way more. So yeah, that's a wonderful piece of metal to put in the garbage can. Woo! I don't know where that went, but we won't be missing it. All right, so now we're going to take our factory clip and put that back on. Of all the things, you know, aspects of this job, that is an important one. Okay, all right. So I pounded on it a little bit and hopefully you can see it's not sticking out quite as much as it had been. So now let's try it again. And there we went home. All right, so yeah. I guess the moral of the story is pay attention to how much that's sticking out because it doesn't need to be a lot. And now we'll grease up the seal surface and get some on the splines there to make sure there's no corrosion and it doesn't get stuck in the future. Yeah, all that good stuff. All right, so A-arms are looking good. It's really nice to work on it tonight, unlike last night, because last night the paint was a little bit tacky. You know, tonight it's very much not. So, all right. So, start putting the washers and nuts on, and we're gonna be done with the front of this machine before you know it. Oh yeah, yeah. All right, so this was a lot easier on the other side because you know, I'm right-handed and whatnot, so this is gonna be a challenge. Yeah, oh boy. It's a challenge just getting the washer on. All right, now. Well, as it turns out, it actually went easier than the other side. Huh. Oh, Doug, I heard you grumbling over there. All right. So, yeah, looking pretty good. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get things tightened up a little bit here. Oh, gee. Okay. Well, let's see. Yeah, I gotta have some cotter pins here. I know I'm short a couple, so I might have some around here. I'll have to look. So I'll grab that, bend it over as best I can, keep it tight to the nut. And then, let's see, I don't know where that snipper went, but I'll find that and cut that off. Let's go ahead and continue tightening on the top nut here then. Alright, I'll give it a little bit more. I think that should be good. And we have a pin through there. Alright, now, yeah, I'll probably want to pull that back out and push the pin in from the other direction, but I don't know, let me turn it and see how. Oh, see, no, that's not tight. You can't, no, that's not tight, because you can see the nut is turning with the steering knuckle. That's not, if you see that, you know that you're not tight, because it should be turning inside the ball joint. Instead, it's taking all of that. Well, no, that's right. It wouldn't be right. Right, okay. It would be wrong down here because it's bolted to the A-arm and that's stationary, but here it's bolted to a part that's actually moving, so that is right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, if the nut's moving, that means it is turning on the inside. So let's see, the grumpy axle here wants its hub put back in. All right, let's see here if I can get that in there. Well, No, not really. I cannot quite get that in there. All right, well, it's some of the way through. Let's see if we can pull it. Boy, that is just so grumpy. It doesn't want to quite go all the way, but that's all right. We'll get it. We'll get it. Get these bent back. And we're golden. All right, so yeah, I was wondering there for a minute, like, I don't know how to get the darn get the ball joint any tighter. But yeah, no, it's right. You want to make sure now on these upper ball joint cotter pins that things are really tucked back tight and everything is right, because that CV boot is very close. It's very close to this ball joint. So yeah, see, I don't like this hanging out here at all, because if it rotates down, it might contact the CV boot, and then we got trouble. Then we get to do this again. So I gotta find my snipper, and I'm just gonna snip that off and part ways with that fella. Yeah, there you are. All right, so I've had these old babies for an eternity, but they're still mostly kind of kicking. So let's go ahead and snip this guy. Yep, there we go. All right. Now we have no issues, and that cannot rotate and come in contact with the CV boot. Fabulous. All right, let's see. Hey, Ray, I have found 2 of these. I have no idea what that is. I hope you feel better soon, because I need you to come down here. All right, so now we have this guy here, and that goes in there. All right, now we put on our great big axle nut. I forget, I think that was, what was that? 22 millimeter. Yes, that is correct. Okay. All right, should be able to get the cotter pin in there. Let's see there. All right, so, yep, drops right in. That. All right, and that's all you need. It can't come out. It doesn't need to be anything special. Oh, wow, look what I did. Are you guys catching that? That's funny. I was thinking, wow, you know, this is going together pretty good. Well, nothing wrong with a practice run, right? Oh my gosh. I guess that's what you get when it's been a long day in the cabinet shop. All right. Yeah, I was like, man, something's not right here. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna get a little grease spread out on this just to make sure we don't damage the seal as we push it on, and it'll help take care of the seal, extend its life, and keep water out. All right, there is a, well, whatever seal goes on that, because it's not this, but you know what I'm saying. All right, now make sure everything is routed properly and no issues there. All right, whoop, yeah. All right. And there are 4 of these 12mm bolts. All right, I think that one started. There's another one. All right, now we'll get our 12mm and we'll snug these up. Nice and easy. Oh, I still haven't changed the battery in this, gosh. I don't know how that's still going. Let's see. Yeah, we got 2 bars in this one. That should work. Now I know one of these bolts, and yeah, it's this one here. It's kind of grumpy with this 12-point socket, so I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up these 3. And then I need to find a 6-point 12mm and get that tight for real. So I'll be back in a moment. All right, so I got myself a 12mm 6-point, and now we'll get that last one tightened up. Okay, I might as well go ahead and, yeah, oh yeah, they're tight. Okay, looking really nice. Now we can put our hub back on. All right, there we are. Okay, so now all that grease in there helps seal the water out. You know, I know that's not an actual seal surface there, but it's a tight fit, and it's got to keep water out between the backing plate and the steering knuckle. So in case you wonder what all the grease is about, so we should be a nice watertight seal. All right, we'll get our 17mm back on here. That's a no, I'm sorry, 22. Yep, okay, right there. And let's see. Here's the cotter pin that I had in here previously. Yeah, okay. So we'll bend that a little bit, and there we go. That's right where it needs to be. All right, now before I put that brake drum on, I'm going to go ahead and move the camera. Okay, so the anchor points for the brake hose and the drum vent I'm gonna go ahead and get those installed. Well, I'm working on it anyway. All right, then we've got one more bolt for this brake hose, and that's right here. So let's bring this guy down and tighten it up. Okay, that is nice and tight. Fantastic. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, wow, man, that is seriously, how did that get so stuck in there? All right, I don't know, really seriously, I don't know how that got so jammed up in there, but sure did. Okay, I don't remember what wrench I had on that. I only got 2 wrenches here, and I know darn well neither of them fit. So, well, let's see. I know the nut here that holds the tie rod end on. I know that's a 17. So I gotta find that. So yeah, let me get a couple things together here, and I'll be right back. All right, so we got our 17mm socket. We're gonna go ahead and get our tie rod end put back together, you know, rejoined with our steering knuckle. So I ever tell you guys it's kind of fun doing this stuff? It really is. I enjoy it so much. And I gotta thank my grandparents, my parents, my aunt and uncle, all of those folks for letting me ride and allowing, you know, letting me use, you know, their machines and stuff. I was just a kid. It's always been something that I love. And need to do more of. So anywho, yeah, again, I gotta remember to bring up some, what do you call it, new cotter pins to do the steering with. And yeah, we'll get that done. And all right, so it's like 50 degrees and pouring rain outside. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, I'll tell you what. All right, so did a bunch of cleaning on our seal here on the drum, so we're gonna go ahead and re-grease that. Alright, so gonna be spreading some grease in the backing plate. Quite a lot of it really, but don't have to overdo it, I guess, you know, right? Yeah. Alright, there we go. Looking good. Looking good. So before I put that brake drum on, we're gonna go ahead and get the shock installed and have that part of the project over. And then I'm gonna reposition the camera. Doug, you're okay, good buddy. Yeah, all right. Okay. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna get the bottom in first. All right, there's that. Get the nut on. Okay, now let me get you guys set up so you can see. So the top of the shock is turned way away from the angle that it needs to be, so we're going to go ahead and put a smaller screwdriver in there. So we've got the leverage, we'll turn that to the angle we need it. And let's see if we can't get this in without tipping the four-wheeler off of its hoist. Let's see here. Yeah, I really could use a hand here. Darn. What do I do? What do I do? I want to get this together. I'm thinking. Boy, it is raining and nasty out. Really extra nasty out. All right, I'm going to fold the towel up quite a lot and set that on top of the shock. And I'm going to try to compress this stuff enough where, oh golly, okay, and there you have it. All right. So now I've got just a little bit, I got to compress that just a little bit to get, yeah, you can see right there how it's not quite aligned. So I got to get just a little compression going on there. See, this is where I really need a third hand. Oh, yeah, all right, that's great. Fantabulous. So yeah, I believe this is all 14 millimeters, so we'll go ahead and get our nut on here. And we'll get our tools together. All right, here we go. I'll use the box end. That's all right, that's tight. That is tight. All right, so that is some kind of beautiful. What do you guys think? Wow, new axles, ball joints, ball joint conversion, nice refinished shocks and springs. Oh, that's just great. This little machine really needed some attention, and it's just all kinds of happy now that it's getting it. Wait till we hear it run, which I've never heard it run. I can't wait, but we're gonna get there. All right. change out this intake boot here, just for the fact that it's, you know, 23 years old. Probably keep it on the shelf. You know, it's good. I love having extra parts. You know, for that goofy problem you didn't expect on a Sunday afternoon. So we are going to install our new angle sensor. I already have it in place, and I just started the mounting bolts. So we'll finish getting those tight, and then we'll plug it in, and then we will put the cover over it, the protective cover, and that'll be one step closer to this machine running. So now we don't know that the angle sensor needed to be replaced. We got to ordering parts before we really got our heads into this, because we kind of needed to get going. Of course the wrench is stuck. All right. Let's see. Now, I gotta make sure I'm using the right bolts here. Because it's been so gosh darn long since we took this apart. So I know it's not these. Well, let's see here. Let's go ahead and where did the wiring harness go? Here we go. Okay, we'll get that plugged in. There's that. And then here's the metal guard that goes over it to protect that from getting smashed. All right, that is nice and snug. Get another one in there. Can't really see it from my perspective, but okay, now we'll get in there and snug those guys up. All right. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Now we have to get our shift motor in place. So we'll be on that in 1 minute.